So let's just start the chapter which comes in second term, which is states of matter. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
States of basically, if we divide on the base of physical classification of matter, then we will get three states of matter, which is solid, liquid, and the third one is gas. The two states of matter, which is solid and liquid, we will study in class 12th in details, and gas in class 11th. Here we will study states of matter, also known as, this chapter is also known as gaseous states, because we particularly study about gaseous. Okay, now there are four parameters which describe the behavior of gases. So first point is that four parameter which describe or characterized the behavior of gases. All of you know how to find number of moles from the first chapter. Etasham, Irfan, and Fawaz.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. There are four parameters which describe or characterize the behavior of gases. That is pressure, volume, temperature, and the fourth one is amount of substance. The fourth one is amount of substance, also known as number of moles of gas. Also known as number of moles of gas. Particularly, I am writing here number of moles of gas. That means the chapter is gaseous state. That's why I am writing here number of. We will talk only about gases here. Is that clear? This four parameter is very important for gas, and we will discuss one by one what is pressure, volume, temperature, and how they are related to each other, and which laws given when they relate to each other separately. Please write this. If you are done with this, then let me know, please. Fawaz,
जी sir.
you are the same student from the Indian school.
Yes sir, I am from Indian school.
Done, everyone?
Yes sir.
Irfan,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Etasham, I'm changing this slide.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
We will talk about unit of pressure. This is very important, the conversion. Unit of pressure. What is the unit of pressure normally? atmospheric pressure, bar, and Newton per meter, so called Pascal. We, we are going to know about how we convert from ATM to bar and bar to Pascal, everything. Just see the first one, the biggest unit of pressure is ATM. The biggest unit of pressure is ATM, also known as atmospheric pressure, also known as atmospheric pressure. Just see 1 ATM equals to 1.01325 bar, or we can say 0.987 ATM equals to 1 bar. In numerical, we always generally take 1 ATM equals to 1 bar. Right, 1 ATM approximately equal to 1 bar. Can we write this? Because 0.98, if we will round it off, it will be 0.99 ATM, that bar, and we can take approximately 0.99 as 1 ATM, that will be equal to approximately 1 bar. Is that clear? Now 1 ATM in terms of Pascal, you will see 1 ATM is equal to 1.01325 bar. That is equal to, in Pascal, we will multiply it by 10 raised to the power 5. That is Pascal. Pascal is unit of pressure. It gives to the scientist on in his name to honor him. Actually, the uh, pressure is Newton per meter square, also known as Pascal. As we know, the unit of force is Newton, but actually the unit of force is kg meter per second square, that we call as Newton to honor him. Is that clear, everyone? It's just a unit. So we can write easily 1 ATM equals to 10 raised to the power 5, or Newton per meter square. Because this number 1.01325 will be approximately equal to 1. So we just in generally in calculation or numerical, we take 1 ATM is equal to 10 raised to the power 5 Pascal. This is very important for the conversion. That's why I'm telling you all this. You have already learned about it in class, junior classes. First write it, then we will move to the mm of Hg, centimeter of Hg, torr. We will come to the, that is gaseous law, gases law.
Done, sir.
Done. Very good.
1 minute, sir.
Okay, take your time. Irfan, are you done?
Sir, I had joined the wrong link, sir.
Okay, no
Sorry,
problem.
sir. Sorry, sir.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Arsalan just came.
Done. Sir.
Okay. Arsalan, just take the screenshot of unit of pressure. How we convert ATM into bar, how we convert ATM into Pascal. It's just basic things. Very good. Now, one ATM, we take this in problem numericals. Okay. In numericals, we take this value. So the value will not be complicated. One also equals to 76 centimeter of Hg or 760 mm of Hg. One ATM is also equals to 760 torr. Torr is also unit of pressure. You know that. What is this torr? Unit of pressure. Like we measure length in kilometer, centimeter, meter, millimeter, all that, just like that. Okay. Now 1 mm of Hg equals to 1 torr. You can see 1 ATM equals to 760 mm of Hg and 1 ATM is also equals to 760 torr. Then we can compare to 1 will be equal to 1 torr or not. Etisham,
Yes, sir.
if 1 ATM equals to 760 mm of Hg and 1 ATM is also equals to 760 torr, then 1 mm of Hg can be equal to 1 torr or not?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we will move to the different gases.
Done. Sir.
Done, sir.
Very good. Now, just write the topic, different gas laws. Different gas laws. In this, we will have the first law, which is known as Boyle's law. First, I will write it, then I will explain it. Just see what Boyle's law says. According to this law, the pressure exerted on fixed amount of gas is inversely proportional to their volume, just see, if I'm writing it in mathematical form, at constant temperature, if I'm writing it in mathematical form, then you can see pressure is inversely proportional to volume at constant temperature and just see what is this on fixed amount of substance, that is number of moles. So I can write P is inversely proportional to volume at constant number of moles. What does inversely proportional means? If we increase pressure, then volume will be decreased, and if we increase volume, then pressure will be increased. If we decrease volume, then pressure will be increased. This is between volume when the number of moles and temperature are constant. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we can easily write if P inversely proportional to V, then for this proportionality constant, for this proportionality sign, I am taking a proportionality constant which is equal to K, which is K. So we can write P is equal to K upon V, and we can also write PV is equal to K, and K, what it denotes is constant. This is constant. So what is the case if temperature and number of moles are constant? Then this product will be constant. That means P1 V1 PV is equal to constant. We can write P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Can write or not? At
Yes,
constant
sir.
temperature and number of moles. Etasam,
Sir, the last one I didn't understand, sir. P1,
just see.
V1.
P is equal to 1 by K, K upon V. Is it clear? P is
Yes, sir.
equals to K by V. We can also write PV is equal to constant.
Yes, sir.
PV equals to constant. That means pressure into volume will be always constant.
Yes, sir.
So for the the number of moles and temperature is constant at T is equal to time is equal to 9 p.m. So PV is equal to constant. Now at 10 p.m. at 10 p.m. you are going to see number of moles and temperature. If you are keeping number of moles and temperature, then PV will equal, PV is equal to constant at this time also. So we can easily write now, for this time I am taking it P1 V1, and this time P2 V2, and it is equal to constant. That means P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. It will
Yes, sir.
always be constant now,
Yes,
providing the condition temperature and number of moles are constant. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Now write this. First we will do some question on P1 V1, then we will move to the next form of this Boyle's law. If you still have any doubt with some, then let me know.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Fawaz, you too, and Arsalan. Done, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just see. If PV equals to constant, that means the multiplication between pressure and volume at constant temperature and number of moles will not be changed. So if you are given the value P1 and V1 at some time, and you see number of moles, and if it is given volume 2 and asking about P2, then you just have to put the formula P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Is that clear, Etasham?
Yes, sir.
Fawaz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to give a question.
1 minute, brilliant copy, sir. 1 minute. Back. Copy.
Okay. Oh, writing, I forgot.
Done.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Now I'm going to give a question. Just focus on the question. A balloon filled with hydrogen at room temperature it will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 if at 1 bar pressure the gas occupies 2.27 up to what volume can the expanded balloon be expanded? Read the question carefully, write the given value, and then calculate the value. If you are not understanding the language of question, then let me know. I will explain it. Itisam, Fawaz, Arsalan,
1 minute, sir. Writing the question.
your voice is lagging. Itisam.
So I'm writing the questions.
Okay. Fawaz,
जी sir.
are you solving it or should I explain it?
Explain कर दे.
Okay, just see here. A balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature. At room temperature, that means temperature is constant. It will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If this value will the pressure will exceeds, it will burst. If at 1 bar pressure the gas occupies 2.27 liter, that means just take it as P1 and at 1 bar pressure P1 is equal to what 1 bar, and at P1 the volume occupies is 2.27 liter. That means we can easily write P1 is equal to 1 bar, then V1 is equal to 2.27 liter. So up to what volume can the balloon be expanded if the pressure is 0.2? Now we will write P2 is equal to 0.2 bar and V2 equals to what? Now we will apply Boyle's law, which I have already taught you, like P1 V1 equals to P2 V2, and we need to calculate V2. V2 is equal to P1 V1 upon P2. What is the value of P1? That is 1. V1 2.27, and what is the value of P2? 0.2. Can you calculate this, Fawaz?
Yes sir.
Now calculate it and let me know the answer.
Sir 11.35.
Have you used the calculator?
हाँ सर,
No, you
अभी
shouldn't.
जल्दी करना पड़ता था।
No, you shouldn't use the calculator.
Uh,
It's just a practice session. You will not have calculator in your examination hall. So take care of it. Etisam, did you use calculator for 11.35 liter?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. It's too easy. For what? Just see 2.27 into 1 will be equal to 2.27. And if we will remove decimal from here, 10 will be in denominator, and 10 will come into numerator when you will solve it, and it will be 10. Now when you will calculate it, when 2.27 will be multiplied by 10, then it will be 22.7 divided by 2, and it will be equal to 11.35 liter. It's easy for us,
हाँ सर, ठीक
isn't it? Okay,
है जी sir.
I'm changing the slide. Arsalan, got this question? Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next concept. Alternative form of Boyle's law. Alternative form of Boyle's law. Just see alternative forms of Boyle's law. We know density equals to mass upon volume. Do we know or not? Haven't you come across
Yes,
this
yes, sir. Yes,
formula?
sir. Yes, sir.
Density equals to mass upon volume.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
And now, according to Boyle's law, amount of substance is fixed. That means mass is fixed. Are you getting my point? Boyle's law,
Yes,
what Boyle's law told is that the law, according to this law, amount of substance is fixed. If amount of substance is fixed for us, that means mass is fixed. Can we say that or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Now you see density inversely proportional to volume, and pressure is also inversely proportional to volume according to Boyle's law. Etasam,
Yes, sir.
just see density is equal to mass upon volume. Mass is fixed. That means density inversely proportional to volume,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
pressure is also inversely proportional to volume according to Boyle's law.
Yes, sir. So density equals pressure.
That means pressure directly proportional to density. Yeah,
Uh,
density directly proportional to pressure.
yes, sir.
So we can have another formula. We can write P is equal to K into D. K is what? Constant. So we can also write P upon D. P is for pressure, D is for density, is equal to K. K means constant. Now we have another formula like P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This will be P1 upon D1 is equal to P2 upon D2. This is alternative form of Boyle's law. The main Boyle's law is P inversely proportional to V. That comes P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, and this is an alternative form of Boyle's law. P1 D1, P1 upon D1 is equal to P2 V2, and you can also write P1 D2 is equal to P2 D1. Whatever you want to write, you can in this two. For us,
Yes sir.
have you any doubt in this?
नहीं, no sir.
Okay. Arsalan. Now we will have some conclusion on this basis. On this base, very important conclusion. When we move to mountains, we will have some pressure problem. Now we will come to know. If you are done with this, then let me know.
Done.
Done. Fawaz,
Done
Arsalan.
sir.
Okay. Why are you laughing? Just see conclusion. If you can see P inversely proportional to, sorry, density inversely proportional to volume, and we come across a formula which is density directly proportional to pressure, or pressure directly proportional to density. Now I'm writing some points. On moving from sea level, on moving from sea level towards altitude, towards altitude, density of air gradually decrease in atmospheric pressure, in atmospheric pressure. Just see, if this is, and this I have sea level and pressure greater than 1 atm. Now this is normal, pressure is equal to 1 atm where we live. Now this is altitude, pressure greater pressure less than 1 atm. When we move from sea level to altitude, the density of air gradually decreases, and that's why atmospheric pressure also decreases. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Since density directly proportional to pressure. Now write this, please. Due to this, due to which there is low concentration of oxygen in the blood of people living at greater altitude and suffering from disease called altitude sickness. You can easily see density directly proportional to pressure. When we move from sea level to altitude, pressure decreases because gradually the density of air decreases. So the mixture of oxygen in blood also decreases. Okay. So whenever we move in mountains region on the altitude, we feel suffocation, and this problem will be facing to us. Breathing problem and all that. Sham.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir. 1 second.
Okay. Arsalan. On the altitude regions, the mixing between blood and oxygen will be lesser, and we will have breathing problem. Now we will discuss about graph.
Done.
Done. Right to topic, graphical representation of Boyle's law or graphical representation of Boyle's law. Just see, first the graph is between P versus P versus V. P versus V means pressure versus volume. And we know the relation between pressure and volume, P inversely proportional to volume. That means the graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Whenever a relation comes between two things in inverse proportion, then the graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. T here, T will be constant. This will graph between P versus V. Now, you know the equation for a straight line. Ehtesham, Fawaz, and Arsalan, do you know about the equation for a straight line?
If it's uniform, right? So proportional, directly proportional.
Directly proportional, exactly. But what is the equation? Y is equal to mx plus c. It shows that this is intercept. This is, we call about tan theta, that is slope, and this is y and x axis, which is directly proportional to each other. Okay, this equation is for a straight line. This equation is for a straight line. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now see the second graph. If we will have P versus V, 1 by V, if the graph is plotted between pressure and 1 by V, can you plot it? Can we whenever inverse proportion is given, the graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Just see, pressure versus 1 by V is, we already know P inversely proportional to 1 by V. Just see in which axis pressure is present, Y, and on which axis 1 by V is total 1 by V is present. Just see the difference. P inversely proportional to V. That means if we are plotting P versus V, that means P is equal to Y, and what is V? That is 1 by X. This is inverse proportion, Y inversely proportional to X. That's why the graph is like this. If we will have to plot a graph between pressure and 1 by V, just see the relation is P inversely proportional to V, and we can see the pressure is on Y axis, and on X axis we have 1 by V. On the X axis we have 1 by V, so we can directly write Y directly proportional to X. We can write or not? Ehtesham?
Sir, 1 by x होगा ना?
No, here it will be 1 by X because the graph is between P versus V. But here the graph on Y axis is P, and the graph on X axis, you can see on X axis it is 1 by V. So on X axis we can write directly X.
Yes, sir.
Ehtesham?
Yes.
Arsalan, if you don't understand, let me know. I will explain it again in other way. Ehtesham,
Yes, sir.
have you understand it?
Yes, sir. 50-50.
50-50. Then see the difference. If P inversely proportional to V, and we need to plot a graph between P versus V. Just see what is on the X axis. P. Answer
Yes,
me,
sir.
please.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
we can write y directly proportional to, and what is on the x-axis? Only v.
Yes,
That
sir.
means 1 upon x. This is inverse relation, and we will have graph rectangular hyperbola. Now, if I am changing it from p into p versus 1 by v, what I'm doing is p versus 1 by v. That means, just see, what we have a relation p inversely proportional to v. What is on the y-axis? P. This is p. And what is on the x-axis? 1 by v. This is 1 by v now. So we can
Yes, sir.
directly write y directly. 1 by v is on the x-axis.
Yes,
That's why
directly
I'm
proportional.
writing it x. Okay.
Yes.
You can also write this like this. Just see, p inversely proportional to v, and here the v is present in the form of 1 by v. So p inverse proportionality 1 upon what is the value of v? 1 by v, and v will come in numerator, and we will have p directly proportional to v, and the graph will be a straight line. Is that clear? You can
Yes, sir.
either do it by this, and you can either do it by this. So I'm changing the slide. So we will have graph like this, y directly proportional to x.
Done, sir.
Done, Ehtesham?
Done.
Okay. Now, in this chapter, graph is very important. We will have graph PV versus P. Just see, I'm plotting a graph between PV versus P. Just see, we have a relation P inversely proportional to V, and we need to make PV. Now, PV is equal to K, that is constant. I already told you. PV equals to constant. Ehtesham?
Yes, sir.
Now the value will be constant. If the value will be constant, then the graph will be a straight line. The change, if we get a value of PV, then it won't change, because the multiplication between pressure and volume will always be constant. So graph will be like this, a straight line. At any pressure, it will be like this. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Constant here.
PV equals to constant. That means the value of this will not change. If the pressure is increasing, if the pressure is increasing frequently, that means volume is decreasing frequently, and they will nullify each other, and the value will be constant. PV versus P or PV versus V, the graph will be same, cos PV V. Just see what is the difference. I will explain it again. PV equals to constant, we know that, and the graph will be like this. If P, here you can see, if volume is increasing, and we know that it is inversely proportional to each other, then pressure will be decreasing. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And overall, the value of PV, that means P into V, will be equal, will be constant. You can write this and let me know. Fawaz got it? Arslan?
So the PV versus V
Yep.
is fourth, right? Fourth graph.
Yes, fourth graph, you can write it, fourth graph or fourth graph, or you can write third A, third B, because it is the same graph, fourth graph. If you're done with this, then let me know, please.
Done, sir.
Okay. Etisam, you are also done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Arsalan? Okay, let's move to the next graph, which is fifth. Log P versus log V. Log P versus log V. Very easy to plot these graphs. You can see here is log P and here is log V. How we will find a relation between log P and log V? We already have a relation P inversely proportional to V. That means PV equals to constant. I'm taking constant as C. Okay. Is that clear? Now how the log will come? We will take log both sides, taking log both sides. Do you know how to calculate log? Etasam, Fawaz and Arsalan,
No, sir.
just see. If log A B, log A into B is given, that means it will be log A plus log B. Okay. If log A upon B is given, that means it will be log A minus log B. With the time, by studying equilibrium, we will come to know about how to calculate logarithm exactly. Now we will have only and to understand this simple maths or trick of logarithm. That will be enough for this chapter. You can see if A into B is given, then it will be log A plus log B. And if A upon B is A divided by B is given, that means log A minus log B. Is that clear? This formula is very important. And if log A raised to the power n is given, this n will come to this and it will be log A, n log A. It will be n log A. Is that clear, Etasam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
see,
sir.
taking log both sides. If I'm taking log, that means log P into V is equal to log C. Log C, I told you that I'm taking constant as C. Now, if P into V is given, that means log P plus log V equals to log C. Is that clear? Now see, log P equals to simple maths. When log V will move from left to right, then it will be minus log V plus log C. Is that clear? Tell me. Etasam, Fawaz.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now
Yes.
see, this is what? This is y-axis. Now we just found out the relation between log P and log V. And this is what? X-axis. This is directly proportional, but negative is given. But negative, directly proportional means a straight line. But if negative will come, minus will come, then the graph will be downward, but a straight line. If positive, here it was positive, here it was positive. That's why the graph goes like this, upward. That's why the graph goes like this, upward. And if negative value will come, the graph will downward and it will be a straight line. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now see, here is a very important maths, that is y is equal to mx plus c. Mx plus c. I told you c is intercept. C is intercept. M is slope. M is slope. It will be always multiplied with x. Now, if question will be asked like, what is the slope of this graph? So what number is multiplied into this? 1. If I'm giving you minus log V, and if I'm asking you what is the coefficient of log V, can you tell me?
The slope m.
No, m here is not any m. If I'm telling you, Etasam, what is the coefficient of x?
minus 1.
Minus 1. If I am asking you, what is the coefficient of log v?
Log v, sir? Log p. Log v.
What is the coefficient of log v?
Minus 1, sir.
Fawaz, what is the coefficient of log v?
Sir, -1.
Minus 1. Got it? Now see, y is equal to mx plus c. And here what we have found the relation between log p and log v. Log p is equal to minus log v plus log c. If in the question it will be asked that what is the intercept c, that will be equal to log c. And if in question, if you have to find out m is what? Slope. M is what? Slope. Then what is the slope here? That I asked in terms of coefficient is equal to -1.
Yes, sir.
Got it, Etasam, Fawaz?
Yes, sir.
Why
Yes,
the straight line is downward? Because of negative. What is its slope? Slope is -1. What is its slope? -1. If I'm asking you here, what is the slope here? What is the slope? Can you tell me? It is +1.
Yes, sir.
It is +1. Now write this and let me know.
सर ये ऐसा नहीं होगा log v को
कैसा?
x एक्सिस पे रखकर ये log p y एक्सिस में होकर
वैसे भी कर सकते हैं, वैसे भी कर सकते हैं, नॉट अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, कर सकते हैं. Yes, Fawaz, what were you asking?
सर वही बस log v को x एक्सिस में है ना वो तो
वाई में ले
वो
सकते हैं,
पहला
यही पूछ रहे थे ना आप?
हाँ वही पहला इक्वेशन जैसे पहला वाला किया था ग्राफ.
या डन.
Yes, sir.
अरसलान, Fawaz done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next. Now you will do this on your own. If I'm asking you a question, log p versus log 1 upon v. Here I am giving you. You have to find a relation with the help of p inversely proportional to v. Then plot the graph. Try this. Intisam.
1 second.
Okay.
It will be the straight line.
A straight line.
Yes, sir. Like from
Okay,
log
straight
P.
line downward or upward?
Straight, sir, like vertical.
Vertical. This like this. Etasam,
No, sir, sir, like this horizontal line. Horizontal.
like this.
Yeah, from log P, but horizontal. Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
सर वो मिडल से होगा, मिडल
ऐसे.
डाउन से नहीं, डाउन से ऊपर
This.
नहीं, वो मिडल, हाँ वहाँ
Okay. Just see. We have a relation of Charles' law. Sorry, Boyle's law. P inversely proportional to V. And we already know that P equals to K into 1 by V. We can write it. I'm just putting it like 1 by V because we have to find log, we have to calculate the relation between log, we have to calculate in terms of log 1 by V. That's why I just kept it like K into 1 by V according to the requirement. In the previous question, in the previous graph, I just took it like PV equals to constant because I need log P, I needed log P log V. Now I needed log P and versus log 1 by V. That's why I kept it like 1 by V. Now taking log both sides, taking log both sides. If I'm taking log on both sides, you can see log P equals to log K upon V. Will it be or not? Tell me.
yes
Now see, if if I can write log K minus log V, I can write that will be equal to wait, it will be very difficult to understand. If I am can write log K into 1 by V, can I write like this? Tell me. I just took log P is equal to log K into 1 by V. Etasam,
Yes, sir.
Arsalan,
Yes,
any
sir.
doubt? Now log P equals to, for multiplication in log, we can write log K plus log 1 by V. Can we write or not?
Yes, sir.
Now you can see that log P is in y-axis, is on y-axis, and log 1 by V is on x-axis. That is directly proportional. And this is intercept. So I can write it easily like a straight line. For the intercept, we just need to, for intercept, if intercept will come in the equation, then don't start from origin, start from here. Start from, don't start from origin, but from above origin. Then the graph will be like this. The graph will be a straight line, but not from origin. Is that clear?
yes sir
Okay. If the intercept is in negative, then start from here. This is when it comes to here, this is the intercept or this is the intercept. Okay. So intercept is positive. That's why I took it higher. Is that clear? And if intercept will be negative, then take it from here. That represents negative intercept. Y-axis represent. Okay. Etasam,
Yes, sir.
it won't be constant like you told on x-axis or y-axis. If you are done with this, then let me know. This is all the graph between log p, log v. Just see the graph and if you have any type of doubt, then ask me, because in the next law, which is Charles law, it will all have the same graph. So you have to write the graph in with your own.
Done, sir.
Arsalan, Etasam, done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Now we will have differential form of, this is very important in NEET and JEE. Differential forms of, differential not forms, differential form of Boyle's law. Differential form of Boyle's law, what does it say? Just see, have you studied differentiation in physics, basic mathematics? Basic mathematics, Fawaz, Etasam, Arsalan.
Yes, yes, sir.
Have you studied differentiation in physics?
Yes,
Etasam?
sir.
Etasam?
So differentiation, yes, sir.
Okay. Just see, we have a relation PV equals to K. Now we will differentiate it. If have you studied the product rule of differentiation?
Yes.
If product rule is given, just see, differentiation of constant is what? Just tell me, then I will come to know you know the differentiation or not. What is the differentiation of a constant? Fawaz, Arsalan and Etasam. Differentiation of constant is zero, and
Yes, sir.
when product rule is given, that means take one as constant and differentiate the other one, then it will be p dv, and take another as constant and differentiate the first one, and it will be p dv, p dv plus v dp equals to 0. I am writing it again. Just see, dp equals to 0. Now I can also write p dv is equal to minus v dp. Can I write or not?
Yes, sir.
And I can also write dp upon dv is equal to minus p upon v. Just see, what I have done right now is I just change the multiplication. I just change the side of dv from left to right and from this to this. So the differential form of Boyle's law is dp upon dv is equal to minus p upon v, and we can also write dv upon dp is equal to minus v upon p. We can write or not? So this is the differential form, and uh, many times the question is asked, what is the differential form of Boyle's law, and this option was given. So just get it. Here is multiplication rule of the product rule of differentiation. We take one as constant and differentiate the other one, and then take other one as constant and differentiate the first one, like p d v. Now take v as constant v and differentiate the other one, v dp equals to 0, and then just calculate this. Got it, Etasam, Fawaz, Arsalan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Done, sir.
Then Etasam?
1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Done.
Done. Arslan, you are also done with this? Just see, we have next law, which is Charles' law. And what does it say? What does it say? According to Charles' law, the volume of fixed amount of gas, you can see fixed amount of gas, that means number of moles is constant. Fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to, here it is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant pressure. Here two parameters are constant, which is amount of substance, fixed amount, and constant pressure. We can write it in mathematical word like volume directly proportional to temperature at constant number of moles and pressure. So we can also write V directly proportional, V equals to K into T. K is proportionality constant, and we can write V upon T equals to K, that means constant. From here, we concluded that the ratio of volume upon temperature, volume and temperature will be constant. So we can easily write at the sum V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. We can write or not?
Yes.
So write this. Just write it. Done. At the sum.
1 second.
Okay, take your time. No problem.
Yes, done.
Done. Very good. Now you will plot the same graph, but the relation will be different. Here V directly proportional to T, and you have to plot all the graph now. And first, we will have a question on this equation V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. Write a question. On a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean, where temperature is 23.4 degrees centigrade. A balloon is filled with 2-liter air. What will be the volume of the balloons? What will be the volume of balloons? Not balloons. What will be the volume of balloon when the ship . reaches Indian Ocean, from Pacific Ocean to Indian Ocean, where temperature is 26.1 degrees centigrade. It's too easy. Always put temperature in Kelvin. Can you do this, Setasham?
Yes, I do it.
Okay. Fawaz.
Yes, sir.
Can you do this? Or should I explain?
Sir, I am trying.
Good. Arsalan, what about you? Very good. Approximately 2.2 liter or 2.018 liter, you can say. Setasham, just see,
Yes, sir.
have you done with the question?
Done, sir.
Okay. On a ship sailing Pacific where temperature is 23.4 degrees centigrade, a balloon is filled with 2 liter air. Just see, what is the volume? Volume is 2 liter. At that time, the temperature is 23.4 degrees centigrade. 23.4 degrees centigrade. Now we will convert it into Kelvin, that we will add 273, that will be approximately equal to 294. Sorry, 296.4 Kelvin. Now,
So we have to change to Kelvin, sir.
yes, I already told in the beginning. T2 equals to 26.1 degrees centigrade, and in Kelvin it will be equal to 26.1 plus 273. That will be equal to 299.1 Kelvin. 299.1 Kelvin, and V2 we need to find. Now we know the relation V1 upon T1 equals to V2 upon T2. So we will have V2 is equal to V1 into T2 upon T1. What is the value of V1? V1 is 2 liter and T2 is 299.1 divided by T1. What is T1? 296.4, and you can calculate 2.018 liter it will be. The Kelvin will be cancelled by Kelvin, and only liter will be left, and the unit will be in liter. Is that clear for us at the Sam?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, write it and let me know. We will start graph of Charles' law.
Done, sir.
At the Sam?
Done, sir. Done.
Okay. Now you have to plot graph between question number 1, V versus T. Second, V versus T in degree centigrade. Here it is in degree centigrade, here temperature is in Kelvin. And I will explain the relation why it comes so. Okay. Now the third graph comes to be V upon T versus V. That will be V upon T versus V. And the fourth is V upon T versus T. And it will be V upon T versus T. Fifth is V versus V upon T. That means, can you plot all these graphs for us, Itasam and Arsalan?
Maybe, sir.
Maybe. You should. You must.
Yes.
Okay. Itasam, can you solve this graph? Itasam?
Yes, sir. Doing. Sir.
Okay. Just let me know the graph of first one, which is V versus T in Kelvin.
Yes.
Yes. Arslan, are you solving it?
Sir, it's a straight line from the origin, right?
It's the straight line from origin. Very good. The Kelvin, it's a straight line from origin.
Sir, what is the difference between Kelvin and Celsius? How it is different?
Basically, we always take temperature in Kelvin, and here I'm changing the slide. Just see V versus T in degree centigrade. That means V is equal to KT. We already know that V directly proportional to temperature. Here V is equal to K is constant, T degree centigrade plus 273 degree centigrade plus 273. That comes in Kelvin, and here we will have V is equal to K into T degree naught plus 273 K. That's why whenever degree temperature given in degree centigrade, it won't start from origin, but it will start from here because it has some intercept. Is that clear? This is intercept.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the answer of C? Which is a third question, number third.
1 second.
Fawaz, you should solve it. You are also trying only, है ना?
हाँ yes sir.
Just try unless you are successful.
सर वो स्ट्रेट लाइन होगा?
A straight line from where? A straight line here, there. This is all a straight line.
VT से, V by T से.
This is like this.
हाँ yes sir.
Very good. Cos V by T equals to constant. The graph will be like this. We already know that V upon T equals to constant. The value will be constant. So graph will be like this. Isn't it? Arslan,
Yes, sir, yes.
Ehtesham, very good. Fourth one.
The first one also same, right? V by T is constant, so it will be straight.
Exactly. Very good. V by T will be constant. Very good. Arslan, very good. What
for
about
the
the
fourth-
fifth one?
The fifth one, it will be from the x-axis. Straight line from the x-axis or vertical line.
Vertical line. Exactly. Got it, Fawaz?
No sir. वो last वाला नहीं.
Just see. V by T equals to constant. So we take a straight line from a straight line parallel to x-axis. You just take a straight line parallel to x-axis. This graph
हाँ
same
yes
like
sir.
this graph.
Yes sir.
So V by T is constant, and here the value of V by T on x-axis. So the graph will be on x-axis like a vertical perpendicular from x-axis.
Yes sir.
If the V by T is given on y-axis, the graph will be perpendicular on y-axis. So if the V by T is given on x-axis, the graph will be perpendicular to x-axis and it will be parallel to y-axis. Here it will be parallel to x-axis. Here it will be parallel to y-axis. Got it?
Yes sir. Yes.
Everyone, Arslan, Etasham,
Yes, sir.
very good. And just let me know when to change the slide.
Done sir.
Done. Etasham, Arslan.
Yes, sir, done.
Arslan, are you done? I'm changing the slide. Okay, thank you. Let's move to a graph in which the y-axis is defined by log v and x-axis is defined by log t. Now solve this. Ithisham, done?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer?
No, sir. 1 minute.
Fawaz,
Sir, it's very simple. It will come from upwards to downwards.
upwards to downwards like this,
Yes, sir.
and it is very simple.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you one thing.
No, sir. It will go from the log V. Log V. It will go straight, sir.
Like this,
Slant line. Slant line.
like this, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Upward, it will go upward. Just see, V
Yeah.
equals to KT. Fawaz,
Yes,
speak
sir.
up. V
Yes.
equals to KT. Now it has log, so we will take log both sides. Take log both sides. When we take log both sides, we will see log V equals to log KT. And here it is in multiplication, so we can write log K plus log T. In the previous question of, in the previous graph of Boyle's law, there was negative. That's why the graph came downward. But here you can see y, which is log V, which is on y axis, and here it is x axis, which is also in positive. There it was in negative and directly proportional to x, and here it is intercept, so the graph will be upward, not
Sir.
downward. It was so
Suppose
easy.
if it be log K minus log T, so it will be downward, right?
It will be downward, but here it is not possible log K minus log T. In
Yeah,
that
yeah.
question it was like PV equals to K. That means log P plus log V equals to log K, and when
Yes.
K moves to this, P moves to right side, and then it will be in negative. That's
Yes.
why
Minus log.
it comes downward.
Yes.
Everyone okay?
Yes.
Fawaz?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Arslan, if you are done, then let me know. I'm changing the slide. Okay. Fawaz, can I change the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see alternative form. Alternative form of Charles law. Like the Boyle's law, we also have alternative forms of Charles law. Just see what is the difference. We already know V1 upon T1 equals to V2 upon T2. We know that. Now we also know density equals to mass upon volume. Is that okay? Mass
Yes.
upon volume. Now see, for volume, it will be mass upon density. But according to Charles' law, mass is fixed. Mass is fixed or not. So we can write
Yes.
for V1, we can write V1 for V1, M upon D1 into 1 upon T1 is equal to, for V2, we can write M upon D2 and it will be 1 upon T2. We can write or not, Fawaz? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Just see. Now M and M will be cancelled. Now we will have a relation, that is D1, 1 upon D1 or T1. We can write here 1 upon D1 T1 is equal to 1 upon D2 T2. And we can also write, we will move this equation and can simplify D1 upon D2 is equal to T2 upon T1. We can write or not. Just see, what I have done is they just put the value D1 here and D1 upon D2 and just put the value T2 here. Then D1 upon D2 is equal to T1 upon T2. That means D inversely proportional to T. That means D inversely proportional to T or not. Just see, D1 here, T1 here, inversely proportional. D1 here in denominator, D2 here, and T2 numerator in the numerator. So that means D inversely proportional to T or not. Etasham, Fawaz.
Sir, can you explain again the last
Yes,
part?
yes. Just see. I can also explain from here too.
Okay, sir.
Etesham, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
For only for explanation, I will do the mathematical calculation only by this, but only for a better understanding, just see. Volume directly proportional to temperature. You know that? Yes or no? Fawaz,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
from this formula, you can say volume inversely proportional to density. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If volume
Sir, how,
directly
sir?
proportional,
Sir, how?
just see, density is equal to mass upon volume. So mass is volume is equal to mass upon density. Mass
Yeah,
is
mass is
fixed
fixed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and pressure is also fixed. So
Yes,
volume
yes.
is inversely proportional to D.
Yes,
Then
yes.
tell me what will be the relation between temperature and density? If
The
volume
temperature.
if volume directly proportional to temperature and volume inversely proportional to density, then can't we say that temperature inversely proportional to density
Yes, sir.
or density inversely proportional to temperature? Can't we
Yes,
say
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Fawaz, now come to this point. If I am writing it, I'm solving I'm solving this only. Okay, just see d1 t2, d1 t1 is equal to d2 t2. We can write cross multiply by cross multiply, we can write it now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we can also write d1 t1 upon t2 is equal to d2 or whatever. Just let me write all the things. d1 upon d2 is equal to t2 upon t1. What does directly proportional means? That if one comes in numerator, the other will also come on numerator, that will be directly proportional. If one comes in new denominator and the other will also come in denominator, that is directly proportional. But when one comes in numerator and other will be in denominator, that will be inversely proportional.
Yes, sir.
So you can see from here, d1 in numerator, t1 in denominator, this is inversely proportional.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
d2 in denominator, t2 in numerator, this is inversely proportional. So from this equation I wrote it like d inversely proportional to temperature, but you understood from this side. But just you need to understand the concept behind this. Okay,
Yes.
so modified formula, modified form or alternative form of Charles law is d1 upon d2 is equal to t1 upon t2, t2 upon t1, sorry, t2 upon t1. And you can go through this for the concept.
Done, sir.
Very good.
Done, sir.
Done.
Yes.
So from this thing, what we conclude is that conclusion we can write the point I am going to write. Due to this reason, due to this reason, hot air is lighter than this. Due to this reason, hot air is lighter than cold air. If we increase the temperature, density will decrease. That's why the hot air, by increasing temperature, it will be hot and it will be lighter cold air. Therefore, hot air is kept in weather balloon. Weather balloon. It becomes lighter. It becomes lighter, and that increases the lifting capacity. That increases the lifting capacity of balloon.
Done.
Fawaz.
Done, sir.
Okay, so you can see from this relation, density inversely proportional to temperature. If we increase the temperature, the for a gas, that air will be or gas will be lighter, and it will be it can easily go up. Okay. Now, Charles' law in terms of degree Celsius. Charles' law in terms of degree Celsius. First, I'm writing a point which is very important. You can write with me. For each degree rise in temperature, if we increase 1 degree in temperature, rise in temperature, volume of a gas increases by 1 upon 273.15 of the original. Very easy language to understand. Original volume of gas at 0 degree centigrade. Just suppose if we have a volume V at 0 degree centigrade and we just increase it by 1 degree centigrade, it will be V into 1 upon 273.15 point. Just see. What I am trying to say is that V volume at 0 degree centigrade, then at 1 degree centigrade, it will be wait, 1 upon 273.15 times of V plus V. Is that clear? Fawaz, just see what is the language. For each degree rise in temperature, volume of a gas is increased by this of the original volume of gas. That means originally at 0 degree centigrade, it has a volume V. So if we increase by 1 degree centigrade, that means V into 1 upon 273.15 plus original value, that is V volume. Is that clear, Etasham?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Just see, I'm writing V naught is the initial volume. So at temperature T, just see, at temperature T, V naught plus initial volume of V naught into T upon 273.15, it will be or not? Just tell me, let me know. For 1 degree centigrade, it will be this. For 2 degree centigrade, what it will be? 2 into 1 upon 273.15 into V or plus V. This will be or not? If you have,
Yes.
Yes,
just
sir.
see, if you have rupees 10 invested in a market, okay, and you will get 1 by 10 of this, 1 by 10 of this, then 1 by 10 into 10 plus 10, what will be your total worth? 11 rupees. And if you on another day you are gaining like 2 times of 1 by 10, then what will be your total worth? 12 rupees. Etasham.
Yes, sir.
So like this, for 1 degree rise, for one just you can see, you can think like this. If you are taking one round in a market, you are getting 1 by 10 of the original volume, and your total worth will be 11. If you are going for second round, your worth will be 2 into 1 by 10. 2 into 1 by 10 into 10. That will be 12 round. If you are going for the third round, it will be 3 into 1 by 10 into the total 10 plus 10, that will be equal to 13. Isn't it, Fawaz,
Yes, sir.
Etasam?
Yes.
So you can see basically V naught equals to volume, initial volume, and if you are increasing T temperature, that means T into 1 T upon 2 T into 1 by 273.15 of original volume and then plus original volume. So Vt equals to, you can easily write V naught plus V naught, if we are taking V naught common as common, 1 plus T upon 273.15. Just write this, and then I will let you know. This
Then
is on done. Fawaz, are you done with this?
Yes, sir.
Just see what I was saying. For 0 degree centigrade, it was V naught. For 1 degree centigrade, 1 into, just see, initially V naught plus 1 upon 273.15 into V naught. For 2 degree centigrade, V naught plus 2 into 1 upon 273.15 into V naught. For T degree centigrade, what it will be? V naught plus T into 1 upon 273.15 into V naught, for better understanding. Got it?
yes, yes, sir.
Just write it. And we will study in the next class again these topics. Then we will move to the next laws. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will see you in next class. I will see you. Okay, and please read all the